Cheers, everybody. Welcome to Sips and Scripts, the podcast that brings together the best of both worlds, cocktails and movies. We'll dive into all-time favorite films or explore the latest release and pair it with a delicious cocktail while we share our thoughts, opinions, and some fascinating behind-the-scenes trivia. My name is Kayla Rose, and I am an entertainment blogger at inmytheater.com.
And I'm Terrell Bernard, and I watch movies.
And I am Kirsten Jackson. I am a cocktail influencer and blogger at lowcountrysocialite.com. Welcome to our show.
Welcome
into this.
Everyone's.
Kayla, you're going to have to get you a new song. Because you hit us with that gospel hit every time.
But it's a Sunday. We is welcoming folks. So maybe that is just our thing. We just need to welcome them into this place. Like, I don't know. What's another welcome song, y'all?
Also, we're about to discuss a bank robbing heist movie. So probably
I feel like you should start that off with the Lord then.
I mean, it's not a bad idea, but it's not a good one either.
I'm just saying, the Lord was on their side for a while.
Leave me out of this.
Yeah, until he wasn't.
Until he wasn't.
Yes. Anyway, so for those of you who are just joining us, this is Sips and Scripts. We are talking about Set It Off today.
Spit it out. Spit it out. I don't know if that's a word, so it was some filler there. That was the filler.
Lord have mercy. Anyway. Yes, we are talking about, as Terrell likes to say, hood classic. Terrell, let us know. Is it a hood classic?
Most definitely. It's got Dr. Dre in it.
The only one that's not up for interpretation. Like, it is a solidified hood classic.
I have to check with Terrell because he is our movie genre master. As a matter of fact, when movies are like classified as like hood classic or not, they actually call Terrell and they ask him.
They hit my line and they like, "Hey, we don't know about this one. Is it hood classic yet?" I'd be like, "Is it on Tubi?" They'd be like, "Yeah." I'm like, "It'll get there. It'll get there. It's on its way."
It will get there because I want to say Set It Off was on Tubi at some point.
You leave Tubi out of this. Tubi trying real hard.
Tubi do try real hard.
Are they though?
They on a platform to showcase their unique divine skills.
Tubi trying real hard.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yes, we are talking about Set It Off, and I feel like everybody has seen this movie, even though that may or may not be true. But I feel like if you haven't, then you should. However, for those of you who have not seen Set It Off, like because you were like living under a rock, this movie stars Jada Pinkett. Terrell, pause for Terrell hate.
But I'm not even gonna hate. Not even gonna hate.
I feel in my spirit that you're lying, but okay, we'll continue. Okay. Yes, stars Jada Pinkett, Queen Latifah, Queen Latifah, Vivica Fox, Kimberly Elise, and
Vivica Fox.
She was not a Fox until after this movie. But yes, Vivica.
What made her A Fox, y'all? What made her A Fox?
One of those name changes that was like I distinguish her from other Vivica Foxes. I don't know, the same addition. No.
I don't think I've ever met anyone named Vivica. Let's start there.
No. Yeah. It's rare. It's a very rare name.
So yes, the film follows 4 close friends in Los Angeles, California, who plan to execute a bank robbery, each doing so for different reasons, but all doing it to achieve a better life for themselves and for their family. The film was released in 1996. It was written by Takashi Buford and Kate Lanier, which we will have a quick little discussion about Kate Lanier.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's directed by F. Gary Gray, who also directed Friday, Be Cool, Straight Outta Compton, Law Abiding Citizens, and it was distributed by New Line Cinemas. And shout out to that little what do you call it? The little video that plays in the beginning of films with the New Line Cinema little icon. Sure, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I know what we're talking about.
What about it?
Shout out to that, man. Because listen, back in the day, when you saw that, you know you're about to see a good movie. New Line
Sometimes.
You were
the majority of the time. Most of the time, you don't get a good movie, right?
You were at least gonna have a good time.
That's okay. Definitely a good time.
So yes, a New Line Cinema was that guy back then. So yes. But yeah, so the budget, it grossed over $41 million against the budget of $9 million. So it recouped at least 3 times, 4 times its budget.
That's a white one.
Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
What did you say?
No. I'm listening. I'm here. I'm tuned in.
Okay.
I'm ready to have this Kate Lanier because I'm wondering where you finna go with this.
Oh, okay. Are you familiar with Kate Lanier?
No, I just had to go look her up, and I'm like, I understand. Okay, cool.
We'll go into it. Yes. So as far as the reception of the film, it was pretty critically acclaimed. It has reached cult classic status. And it has a 71% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So
71%.
What
was the hateration for the 30?
71 is pretty good for Rotten Tomatoes, honey. So Rotten Tomatoes will give you a 6%. You know, like they don't care. So 71 was pretty good. So yeah, it has a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. The representation in the film, we have female icons, Black representation, queer representation, the different class structure representation, and like especially lower class, and yeah. So it's.
Yeah, I believe. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was like, they gave this movie a 70, so let me go see what they give movies. Like, is there a 100% movie out here in the world? And I'm like, wow, the list is interesting. But anywho, that's off topic.
We've done a movie or two that had like a high rating, like in the 90s. I'm trying to.
Yeah, we should do 100% movie one day. Just pick one of these random ones. Toy Story up here is 100%. Toy Story 1 and 2 are up here as 100% movies. That's crazy. Crazy.
You know, I've never seen Toy Story.
Really?
No.
Wow. Lucky you.
Oh no, not lucky you. Oh no, it's going to be a movie. It is going to be now. Just because you said that, because how do you not see Toy Story? That's like,
Terrell, why did I have to say it?
Yeah, you should have been like, man, I love Toy Story. Toy Story is my damn. You should have said something.
Well, what I meant to say was Toy Story is my favorite film. It is a wonderful piece of cinematic history, and I don't need to see it again. So there's no need to put it on the calendar. Okay. Love you, bye. So damn, I think it's too late. Yeah. But anyway, yes, back to our film, Set It Off. Terrell, what is your history with this film?
I don't have much history with it. I've seen it once, ever.
Really?
Yeah, I've only seen it once. It wasn't a movie that I was really drawn to like that. I was like, once you see it, it's like, I've seen it.
You know what's happening. Yeah.
But watching it recently, I was thoroughly impressed. I thought the movie was awesome. I feel bad that I hadn't watched it more. It's a really good movie.
I really thought that you had watched this more than once. I don't know. Caleb, what's your history with this film?
Oh, I watch this movie all the time. I got it on DVD. That's how much I watch that movie. I go pull it out if y'all don't believe me. I literally have this movie on DVD right there in the closet.
I had to buy it.
I love this movie. Like, I literally have watched it several times. It was one of my comfort in rotation movies, along with Colombiana.
That's it.
Did we watch Colombiana on this?
Oh, yes. We've seen it.
With Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, and we loved it. So
it snapped. That was the one. That was the one. I was like, as she did that, I knew she was gonna take off. I was like, man, this is the springboard for her. This is the springboard.
Yeah, it is.
That put her in position.
Y'all know that Zoe Saldana is the main actress. That was her springboard.
Yeah.
Let's try again.
Well, what else did she do
before that?
Yeah,
a whole lot of stuff.
Like,
I don't know that.
How you gonna stop the presses and not know? We're like, it was stuff.
She was in Avatar. She was in her Drumline. A whole bunch of stuff before Colombiana came out.
I mean, but it springboarded her.
Star Trek.
I would say Avatar did, but
really
girl, I don't know what that long. Lord Jesus, have mercy. I didn't see the second one.
Avatar is long, and it's not something that I would probably ever watch again. But it was like this major, epic film, and if that film was like, in your wheelhouse of things you like, then it was a good film. Like, it was. Like, to me, it was along the lines of Titanic and like Gone with the Wind, like them long, epic films that you'd either have to like it, like really like that kind of stuff to watch. And it cost a lot of money and it made a lot of money. But anyway, I ain't talking about no damn Zoe today. Anyway.
And it was me talking about something. Let's keep on topic.
Well, my history with Set It Off it's something I don't remember watching it in the 90s because my mama didn't really let me watch a lot of hood movies, even though me and Terrell would sneak and watch movies all the time. But Set It Off wasn't one of those films. And but I know like it's one that always comes on like TNT and TBS and all those like channels, but it's not the same like watching it on those channels like as opposed to either watching it in theater or watching it on DVD or just watching like just the original regular version. Because I mean, how many mother fathers can you take in one sitting? But
yeah, it is definitely like, yeah.
So it ain't fun if you taking out all the curse words and stuff. That is not fun.
Has anybody seen the play where like they had? Who was it? Was it Latoya Luckett and the Brat?
They did do a screenplay. I don't know, but I feel like COVID interrupted that a little bit. But I can't remember.
What was this for?
They did Set It Off. Yeah, Kyla Pratt was in it. Demetria McKinney was in it.
That's the other two people. Yep. And then the Brat and was it Latoya Luckett? I'm tripping.
I can't remember. But that's what were you gonna say?
I said I'm interested. I want to go see it.
I'm interested.
I bet you that is terrible. I bet you it was terrible. Terrible.
That's my history with film. I've seen it like a million times. Like I can quote a lot of the movie and one that doesn't really like a lot of gratuitous violence. especially like gunplay, but I can deal with that because this is just one of my favorite movies. I can halfway. There's some parts I kind of cringe at, but you know, that's just me, my personal thing. But yeah, so it is time for our 60-second recap challenge, and I am challenging Terrell. So yes.
I'm gonna get it done in less than 60 seconds.
No, you are going to give a thorough synopsis, Terrell, because you love to be like, look, there was some ladies there, and they were shooting, and then the credits roll, and that was it.
Ladies, all right, y'all ready?
Yeah. We are looking for a thorough synopsis.
2.
Recap.
Yeah, recap. Yeah, we're gonna cap it.
3.
All right, so this movie is about 4 women. One's a bank teller, one's a mom, and another one's a gangster. I don't know. She steals cars. The other one works at a bank. I don't know. So they go around and they need money. They're living in the hood. They're working at a cleaning service together, and they decide we need to rob some banks because our friends robbed banks and they did it poorly and almost all of them got killed. But I think we should do it because I think we're better than them. So they try to do the same thing, but they're a little bit better and a little bit faster. But I think they were just lucky as hell. So they keep trying to rob banks, do their thing, and then at the end they all get caught except for Jada Pinkett Smith. Unfortunately, she should have been caught. And credits roll.
Good job. Good job. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was with them too. I was like, what makes y'all look at some folks who robbed the bank, got murdered, most of them. I mean, a couple of them got away, and was like, yeah, we can pull this off too.
Well, you know, when they were discussing it, they were like, man, they were crackheads.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And Frankie was upset. So Frankie was like, we can do
understand. I think I texted you when I was watching the movie and was like, bro, I forgot how much this movie, because I hadn't seen it in a while. How they really hold her at the beginning of that movie and was like, because you a nigga and some niggas robbed this bank and you you also got to get up out of here. And I was just like,
we'll talk about it. But let's have a cocktail first.
Oh, yeah, we got a drink.
So I'm fine. All right, here's a cocktail.
Yes. So we are going to have a bank heist bourbon. Okay. And we are going to start off with some honey syrup that I made myself. It's equal parts honey and water. And then 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. And next up, 2 ounces of bourbon. We're using Clyde Mays straight bourbon whiskey. 2 ounces of that. And we pour that in our shaker filled with ice and throw in a few dashes of bitters, which is like cocktail seasoning. So there we go. We put the lid on our shaker and shake.
That's a lot of shaking.
It was a lot of shaking. And we strain into a glass filled with ice. That's a rocks glass. All right. And here we go. Our bank heist bourbon. Which I have right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna pretend like this is a bank heist bourbon. Yay.
Yes.
So,
cheers to our bank heist bourbon.
Love it.
All right. So let's get started with our film.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like Terrell explained, we have four friends that
before you say 4 friends, do you think Stoney and old girl was really friends like that?
Which one?
The quiet one.
Stoney and TT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think they was really that close? She seemed like, you know how that one friend, like you in a friend group, and it's a friend that's in the friend group as well, but y'all not as close as you are with the other people in that friend group with you.
Mm-hmm.
But they always around. But since you like, you here, you my friend, but you ain't my friend. Because when it was time to break up the money, she was like, you ain't getting none of this. You ran out.
So wait, are you talking about Frankie and TT?
Frankie? What? Oh, my bad. That's what I meant. Yeah, Frankie.
Because I was gonna say definitely Stoney and TT.
Okay, yeah. That's what I meant.
Felt like to me, they were friends by proximity. Like
okay.
They grew up together, and not to like discount their friendship. I think that they were close friends, but I felt like they all lived in the same neighborhood and they all worked at the same place except for Frankie. And I think they just grew up together,
Okay.
I think that they were like sisters, and they were sometimes it's one sister that you be like, you say something crazy to me, I'm gonna look at you funny every time. And then I think she also, and because she's the quiet one, she's the one that you can get upset with easier than everyone else. You know what I mean? So even in that scene where she was like, I'm not mad at you. It's not you I'm mad at. Like that to me showed, they really are like really good friends and things like that. But because she had never stood up for herself and things like that, it's easier for them to beat up on her.
Okay.
Yeah. I do feel like watching this movie as like a younger person, it really was just like a bank heist movie. It was just like a heist movie, and
that's all I remembered.
Yeah, but like watching it as an older woman, like a grown up.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Glad you finally admitted it, old lady.
Oh, I am old. Hey, it is. But like watching this as like an older, like not a child, I really picked up on the themes of like Black female rage, and I recognized it a lot. And I knew Frankie was angry, but I never, I guess, really grasped how angry she was. And I got it. Like I finally understood it, because to me, like I said before, this was just like, it was a bank robbery film, it was an action film, like, but just, I guess, and maybe because like doing this podcast, we watch movies more critically now. It was like the theme of like Black female rage was just like extremely evident during the whole film.
What though for me was like how much you think things might have changed since 1996 that just have not. Like that, like them killing her brother and just being like,
yeah, that really hit home a lot, like especially upon this viewing, because I haven't seen this, even though I watched this movie a lot, I haven't seen it probably in the last few years. So it had been a while, and like definitely those themes of like, police brutality and like unlawful killing of Black men,
racism, because like that whole her getting fired because she knew the person who robbed the bank, that was crazy. And I was just like, wow, they really let them get away with it. And I really enjoyed when she looked at that Black lady and was like, you didn't even ask me if I needed some water, sister. I was like, yeah, because people act just like that.
Yeah. And so let's have a conversation about that. Like, Frankie was so entitled to all of the rage that she had. I mean, of course, maybe she shouldn't have like set up bank robberies. However, she was entitled to all of the fucking rage.
Yeah, she was.
That she had. And like, she literally saw someone get shot in the head like 2 feet away from her. And just them getting rid of her. And I guess what really spoke to me in like the character Frankie was like, so you had these 4 girls, they're from the hood, right? Mm-hmm. And out of all of them, Frankie was the one, like, she wasn't working the janitorial services, and not that there's anything wrong with like service work, whatever, but she had a what will be deemed as a professional job. She, you know, worked up. She had been there for 2 years. She said she had just gotten a promotion. Like, she was doing what society says that she is supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, because she knew someone, it's almost like your past will always catch up with you. Mm-hmm. And it was so unfair. Like, she was literally doing what she was supposed to do. You know, that whole bootstraps theory, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. She did that, and she was still screwed in the process just because
she knew somebody
of where she was from. And like,
and I'm like, how many people know somebody who done committed a crime? Like, that's crazy in their workplace. Like, this is crazy. That was insane. It doesn't sit well with us that you knew the person.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
What?
Yeah, that part was ridiculous. I did not. That part really pissed me off because knowing someone doesn't mean you're in on it. I mean, the guy put the gun to your head, and you knew exactly who he was, so he would have killed her with no problem, no remorse, no nothing. And then what y'all said.
And what was so even crazier about that, she was trying to tell him, like, bro, don't do this. Please don't do this. Mm-hmm. Find another bank to do this. Like, and I felt so bad for her. I really did. I felt so bad for her. So bad. And then well, I guess I'm gonna let you go in order if that you want to. But there is something I want to talk about.
Let's do it. Open it up.
Stoney and that damn brother and him getting murdered because he had the damn same haircut, and how he didn't want to tell the girl he didn't get into school, and she over here sleeping with people to get money, and then she ripped up the check. Ain't no way in hell I would have slept with that old ass nigga. Got that money. That little boy told me he wasn't going to school and ripped up the check.
Yeah, that was a very dramatic move on Stoney's part, and I was like, well, you done it now, so you might as well keep and cash that check.
That was sad. That was sad.
It was very sad. I was assuming that it was for $2,000.
It was only $2,000.
That's what I was assuming, because he was like, you can make $2,000 a month working for me. And she was like, okay. She was like fascinated with that amount. And I was like, damn, this is the 90s, because that sucks. But
$2,000 is a lot back then. It ain't $2,000.
Because remember, like, they were sitting on the roof of their housing projects, and they were like, man, the factory was open. Mm-hmm. Like, people were making $15 an hour, and they were like, man, that's some good money. And I was thinking,
shit. I wish that was still some good money.
That was some great money. Could have got you a house with $15 an hour back in the 90s.
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, man, overtime was like $22.50. Like, they were like, really,
baby, you can't even get an apartment at 15 these days.
Yeah.
They want you to make 8 times the rent. And I just be like, do y'all see how much the rent costs? How many people y'all think make that much money?
Right, that part.
I thought you were shaking your glass like me.
I was saying cheers and agreement.
But yeah, no, that part was sad. That she was really risking to go against her morals and values for her brother, for him to turn around and be like, well, this is actually not happening, and then for the police to just turn around and murder him.
That happened. So it was like, you knew it was going to happen, but then when it happened, I was like, wow. It and it felt like it, even though this movie was back in the 90s, like something like that happened, a few years ago, still happening today. Like, it's not anything new. like, oh, we think we had the right person, and then I was, oh no, it wasn't the right person at all. We're sorry. Like, bro, you can't bring nobody back to life with no damn sorry. Nobody want to hear that shit.
Yeah. People are still getting when I see people getting released from jail, saying like they spent 20 years in jail for the wrong crime and they proven it and all this other stuff. It's just like, do you know how much the world has changed in 20 years? Yeah. Like that, you have like completely derailed this person's life for the rest of their life off of nothing.
They don't care, and all they offer is like.
Because do they get money or anything? Like, can those people sue? Like, it's just it's so crazy to me when I hear those things.
From my understanding, there is like some get like retribution, but it's very rare.
Because if you even thinking about it, like when I go to apply for a job, which hell, these days, like if you haven't learned all of these different skills, you ain't getting no good job. Having not been, do you even know what a computer is? If you've been in jail for the past 20 years, like that. I mean, like I'm sure you do, but like, how well do you know how to use it? How well do you?
That's what recidivism is the way it is. Like it. Because what can you do once you've been in prison and been institutionalized for that long? It's hard to like reacclimate to society. So what do you do? And then like you have to make not just money, but a lot of money to even really survive. Like you're expected to get a place to live and to also pay your probation and parole fees. Like it's nearly impossible to survive as an ex-offender.
Probation and parole fees too.
Yeah.
When I get out of jail, I still got more money to pay after jail.
Yeah, when you are on probation and on parole, somebody has to monitor you, and you have to pay those fees.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
And that's why, like, we can get into the whole like sex offender thing. Like, listen, I do not support sex offenders, but sex offenders have it really fucking hard when they get like either released or whatever. That's a whole other conversation.
Love that for them. love that for them.
I'm on the fence with that, but anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Yeah, that was crazy. And it was also just crazy to see like them working that job with Luther, and Luther was talking to them crazy, and
Luther was the freaking worst. And
yeah.
And then stole their money. Oh, I was heartbroken.
He stole it and spent it all. He treated it like he was Brewster's Millions. I was like, man, how he spent that money that fast?
In that second bank robbery, they got $75,000 a piece. So they had to have cleared $300,000. What did Luther do? Like that prostitute did not seem worth that much. So they had to been a quick $200 maybe. Dang. And Luther got some watches. He got his little fresh perm. Because remember, Dr. Dre was like, yeah, he came up here, his shit was permed up.
I was trying to figure out how he knew that money was there.
Yeah, that was crazy. Unless he was watching them. Because that's one thing I was like, they act like we so smart, we smarter than them, but I was being real reckless. Like this we make a lot of noise, let's do stuff. How did our job?
Why didn't they put that money at Stoney's house? But then they kind of explained why, like, the police.
That's the first time. Right.
But police never came to their houses.
Where they put it?
Ever.
Huh?
Police never came to their houses ever.
No.
Never.
I could think of a million other places to put money, honestly, very truly. Like
in a mattress.
But here's the real thing. I always like to say I'm gonna be a smart criminal if I'm ever a criminal, but let's not get there. My ass would have already bought a plane ticket for the moment after I rob the bank because I'm gone, because you're not gonna catch me. I just think like, where y'all be thinking? Like y'all be committing crimes and don't have no.
I don't think they had enough. I think they didn't think they had enough to go and start somewhere else.
$5,000.
Well, I thought about that too. I was like, why did they take that money and leave? I thought about that too, but I think that they stuck around because TT still had her court date, right. And so they still, I guess they were gonna all leave at the same time, but TT had her court date, so they were waiting to get her baby, and then they were gonna leave.
And even that was crazy to me, them taking that baby, well, which was I guess understandable because no, the baby should not have been there to have gotten into the cleaning supplies, which is fucking crazy because I was just like,
baby took off in 2 seconds. As soon as she put the baby down, the baby was like, "Ooh, chemicals!" It crawled his ass right over there.
It's like a pack and play, baby. You ain't had no pack and play at home, which is fine if you didn't. I understand. You know, they poor. They might not have pack and plays back in the day, but there's no way I would let my baby get into some damn chemicals. That's first. But second was how the lady was like, we're going to take your baby because you need to prove that you're able to take care of them because you couldn't afford a babysitter. So like now you just can't do shit. Like you don't deserve to have this child because you don't have no money because you poor. And I was like, God dang, if that's not because what you're going to do when you put them in the system is treat them poorly because that is how most foster children are treated, honestly.
Well, I will say this. I was kind of on the fence with that. Like, I know that kids are like, I've worked in social services for years, but I've not worked with like child protected. Like I haven't done that sector. But I mean, I've seen have friends who have worked in that sector and like I know kids are taken away, but I felt like that was so far-fetched for them to do. Because number one, tons of kids go to the workplace with their parents. And it wasn't like she was at a dangerous workplace. Like I can see if she had taken her baby to a bar or taking her baby to a strip club or to like a factory, but it was literally an office building. And I know like my aunt and uncle, they used to do like cleaning up a bank after hours. And I would go with them all the time. I wasn't a toddler, but I was like a kid. I was a young kid. And so I was like, she was acting like she took the child to like a
firework factory. And gave him a book of matches and was like, play with this.
Like the fire station or something. I was like,
and then like I understand like neglect, but you're telling me that this one time that I brought my child somewhere and now you think that for the past 3 years I've just been a neglectful parent when it's literally that I am just poor. Like,
yeah, and it's like it was just another part of that whole like rage system that Frankie was feeling. Like even when you are trying, you are working, you are trying to do what you are supposed to do, and you still get knocked down. And like, essentially like caseworkers are supposed to be there to help, and it's like
taking my child
systems that are built to help are still the systems that tear you down. And it's like this crushing cycle.
Which is so crazy to me because when you think about, social workers, you're supposed to be working for the family, or for the children, for family, things of that nature. And I'm just like, I understand like the difference between neglect, abuse, and all of those things. But I feel like when you can't ruled out, it wasn't neglectful. Absolutely. It was neglectful, but it wasn't, what is the word I'm looking for? Like intentional neglect.
Yeah, it wasn't willful harm. Like
right. And so that's when you think that these programs that are designed to be helpful are like, okay, you need some resources. Let's try and look at your resume and see what other skills you have. Let's see if we can find you another job. Let's talk about negotiating salaries. Let's tap into some of these government resources. Do you need help getting, food stamps? Do you need help getting this? Da 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 da. But that doesn't often. It's just not the case of what happened.
I didn't see where taking her child was like, and I guess this is like movie world drama. So okay, fine. I could definitely see them opening up a jacket on her, like, okay, we're going to have a case manager come to your home to check things out, to make sure that you are taking care of your child, the right way. That whole taking a child and then wouldn't even let her hold the child. Like she finally had a heart and let her hold her for like let her hold her son for like 5 seconds and then snatched him back. And it was like you act like she was burning him with cigarettes. Like it wasn't even that. I mean, the child could have died, but damn.
It's just like, God, they really like the system just really not set up to actually help people. At the end of the day.
Yeah. And that was just a very strong flex for that. But whatever. Well, I have a character I have a question for you guys before we get too deep off in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the 4 main characters, Frankie, Stoney, TT, and Cleo, which character are you? Kayla, who are you?
I'm all of them. That's the funny part, because I'm crazy. Because it depends on what day and at what time you ask me and what I feel like that day. I feel like if I had to just pick somebody, I would say Stoney, I would think.
Okay.
Because she was pretty much just a regular everyday girl who was just like living life and just trying to do the best that she could. She fell in love. That sounds like something I would do. She fell in love quick as fuck at that. It was ready to just never mind, I'm supposed to do all this good shit for this man. I can't rob this bank because I love this man. So I could see that that happening. And she got away at the end, and period, because I'm gonna get away. Most definitely.
I don't think you'll get away, but I hear you.
I'm getting away. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but Kayla Marissa Rose gonna be about this biatch. I'm getting away. So I would say Stoney. I just think that she's like the most like chill. Okay, like she was against it, but then she was like, when she got into it, and yeah.
Oh my goodness, Terrell, what about you?
I don't. This is a hard one.
You think, and I'll think.
Cause I'd be like, it'd be like, ooh, there's a chance you go to jail, and I'd be like, no. So I'd be like TT with that, cause I'd be like, jail, I'm good on all that.
Terrell, you TT.
Think about character-wise, though. I don't like your character-wise.
Like, we robbing the bank. I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. Let me go get
Terrell being Vivica A character a little bit, like professionalish, like character-wise, but not like that you want to go rob a bank, but like themselves. Kirsten, who you? Because I got an idea for you too.
I think. Oh well, I want to hear this. Who you think for me?
Go. No, you say it first. Then I say it.
I think I'm a mixture of TT and Frankie.
TT
and Frankie. Yeah. TT was for you character-wise. You just did.
Huh?
I was gonna say TT because you did see. You really did see. Not in a bad way.
Not Kayla calling me.
Yeah, because Ditsy be in a good way sometimes.
Of course, right.
I'm thinking all 4 of them, so I understand. But yeah, go ahead.
I would say TT and Frankie for me, because Frankie working at janitorial job and just being pissed. I totally connected with that because she was like, "This is some bull," and
it was.
And she was so angry. I felt her, but also TT, because TT was like, "I don't think we were," and I probably would have ran that first one. like, oh yeah, this too much. I
didn't even go to the getaway. I would at least got it to the getaway car. I would have waited a few minutes before I left, but
she
was hiding away.
First of all, how did they not identify them with TT and them ridiculous ass shoes she kept wearing? Did y'all think
I didn't see the shoes. What shoes she had on? She had on some clogs or something?
It was like, they were like the shoes like a 12-year-old will wear. Like, they were just...
They was lighting up?
They were just ridiculous. They should have.
Robbing a bank with some light up shoes is insane.
The funny thing is too, though, I feel like I'm also a little bit Cleo, because Cleo was like, I do be down for the ride. Some rides, not all the rides, but some rides I'd be down for.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all righty then.
I mean, not like off the rip. Like, of course, don't ask me that. People don't think I'm talking about if somebody asked me to go rob a bank, because, baby, I'm not going to rob nobody's bank. But I'm just saying, like, if you was like, ooh, let's take a midnight trip. We finna drive to Disneyland right now. Yes. Let's do it. I'm here for it.
If you
called me at 1 a.m. in the morning and was like, I want to drive to Disney World right now, I'm gonna pack a bag and we gonna go.
You are like that. And I am so not.
Mm-hmm. Don't call me.
You gotta let me
go. I'm like, oh, okay, hold on. I gotta get some things situated first.
You gotta let me know about 3 months in advance.
I can't just be up.
And then at the end, I'm probably like, you know what? I really ain't gonna even do that.
I wanted to go, but
yeah,
maybe next time. Yeah, tell me about it next time.
Keep me posted.
Yeah, when I lived in Hinesville, I used to take midnight trips down to Tybee Island. No reason.
Yeah, I know. And I could never ever understand that, but yeah, so but yeah, TT and Frankie, that would be who I am. Let's talk about Stoney and this romance that she had with Blair Underwood, because I have a question.
Ooh, Blair Underwood's so fine. He was fine back in the day. Can't believe. Yeah. Fine black man. They don't make him look like that no more, Lord. They don't look like that no more.
You know, he was kind of touch and go for me, because he was fine, but there were some things I was like, that is so obnoxious. First of all, him calling business school, I went to B school.
Yeah, that's a little dumb.
I was also confused when he said it. What? Is that what they call it?
The man was smart, but he did look good.
Yes, he and then, like, I hated the scene where he made her change her outfit.
Yeah,
it looked like a pack of crayons. About to be going with me. He was tied. He was suit and tied up. You can't just be rolling up looking like crap. At least he got us something nice. He was like, let's make a quick stop. Let me get you in something nice so we can go and really have a good time. So you don't feel, because she felt the outfit. Because we were like, you like my outfit? He was like, People at the party would have been the same way. They were like, who is this? But when she showed up looking like she was looking, it was cool. She was relaxed. She didn't feel like she didn't belong there. And she had a good time.
Oh, she taught her big shit too.
Yes, she did.
And dividends and something. I was like, all right, girl.
They was impressed. That's all she had to say all night. They was impressed.
She did do a good job, bless her little heart, at the party, holding her own.
But if she was in there looking like Khadijah from Living Single, then in that outfit, they would have been like, huh? What do you do again?
That outfit was obnoxious, but it wasn't that bad. Now.
It wasn't that bad at all. It wasn't as bad as he was trying to make it out to be. Now, he didn't have to do all that. And also, if you want me to look a certain way, you need to have said that at the beginning, like, hey, it's a black tie event.
He did.
So please have a black dress. No, I need you to be specific.
It's a black tie event.
Black tie event is not the same as I need you to wear a black dress or a, send me a Pinterest look or something before you just allow me to
95.
I'm just saying, like if you want me to be dressed a certain way and you leave it up for interpretation, then be upset with what I wear. That means next time you need to be a little bit more specific.
Mm-hmm.
Or do what you did and then just take you to get you something really nice.
Because I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. If it's that big of a deal, let me just go and take my ass to the house because.
Okay, back to the hood with you.
Back to the hood with me, baby.
I mean, but
we'll try again another time.
She did take a real back seat to him, and I guess because she was fish out of water, so it was whatever he decided. No, if he doesn't think this outfit is good enough, we'll just do and go get another one. And she just had nothing to say about that. And I was like, I mean, I get it, but I just don't like it. So
yeah, I definitely get it. I'm like, if you trying to get out the hood, baby, and this the man, the way for you, okay. But as for me and my house, and let me show up and get dressed. Bye.
She probably did not know what black tie meant, and that's fair. And so, they probably should have had some conversations when you go somewhere with somebody, you'll be like, oh, well, what are you gonna wear? What are you gonna wear? That could have been taken care of that way, but just let her step in the room and he was like,
what was the time frame between them meeting and then all of this? Was it months and they were just kind of not showing us that, or was it just weeks or so?
I think it was some time went by. I don't think it was all of a sudden. Cause they wasn't robbing banks back to back like that. So that's something you gotta let cool off.
Then it really were kind of though.
Really? Now I know after they lost the money, then they had to go back and get it. But the first time to the second time, it just seemed like it was some time passed.
It was, I wouldn't say months, but I would say it was at least weeks. Okay. So, but I don't know. The timeline wasn't really clear, but I felt that it was weeks. But I bring him up to ask, my question is, and this doesn't even necessarily, you don't have to stay in this movie, but the sex scene between them, I remember when it came out, I remember it being one of the hottest sex scenes. People were talking about it.
You said that about Jason's lyric. Do you think every sex scene like that is sexy?
Man, listen, maybe Jada Pinkett does sex scenes well to me.
I think she does the same thing every time. She lays on her back and does. Oh.
She was on her stomach this time, okay?
All right, I'm done.
People were talking about this sex scene. People were, because the In Vogue. So Terrell, tell me I'm lying.
I mean,
you can laugh about it. You might think it's obnoxious. You might think it's crazy. But am I lying?
If you would have put them scenes side by side with Jason's lyric, and I would have been like, what movie is this from? She was cheating on Jason this whole time.
Because you don't like Jada Pinkett, and we can let the viewers know.
Jada Pinkett, all right, she cool. I like Jada Pinkett.
But my question is, Taylor, do you have a sex scene from any movie, any TV show that stands out to you? What's the best sex scene to you?
I don't watch a lot of movies with a lot of sex scenes in them. I'm trying to think of a movie that have a sex scene.
Don't you tell us that it was when Naruto gave a 1-2 punch to someone.
Ooh, that is so funny. I have to rack my brain because I don't know of a sex scene in a movie that I'm just like, oh my God, that's it. That's the one.
Shall we come back to you?
Yeah, come back to me. Because I really don't know.
Terrell, do you have one?
Have to Google.
I don't pay attention to a lot of scenes. Oh, wait. The best man scene when whatchamacallit is getting knocked down. What's her name?
Who?
The one that be causing all the problems. She always the problem. What's her name?
Oh, that was a good sex scene. Was it Hope? Faith? It was something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But from the best man. That's the one that always comes to mind when I think of a scene like that.
I'm gonna just look through Men's Health and see if one of these speak to me.
Now speaks to me.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
The Notebook. They was effing in the Notebook, y'all. That's crazy.
Never seen the Notebook.
Me neither.
Wait, no, I love the Notebook.
Okay, now The Warriors was a good movie. They had a couple of cute. Oh, Jason Clear is up here on number 13. All right.
So Jason's lyric did make the Men's Health list.
It did.
See there, Terrell.
And I still give it.
You just don't like Jada.
It's so funny, y'all. I really don't know no sex scenes. I have no idea. I don't know. The only sex scene that I ever even can vaguely remember was from Sex and the City, and that was so long ago. I don't even remember. Like that's the only thing movie I could tell you I've seen a sex scene in, and I know there's been more, obviously, but that's the only one that I can even think of being like, wow, I actually remember seeing that movie and it having a sex scene in it.
Yeah, they really cut down on sex scenes. They don't have a lot of them.
Which is perfectly fine with me because, baby, I really don't need. No, I'm not one of them folks who's like, oh my God, let's see the sex scenes. Yay.
Well, I have 3.
Okay. I do have one. One that I remember. Terrell? It was the one from Do the Right Thing. That's the Do the Right Thing scene with Mookie. Yeah. When you started talking about it, I was like, wait a minute. I remember one. Yeah. That one. That's the one.
Yeah. That was a good one. So that's one of mine. I know we talked about it before, but the Jason's lyrics scene, but not even the one in the flowers, the one in the TV store.
Interesting. Well, praise the Lord.
My third one. And this one was, they're different for me. Like, same sex scenes, like between two men. Usually I can watch it without a problem, but there was one that I watched and I was like, oh. But there's a scene in Pose where Billy Porter's character, him and
I don't know what's talking about, but go ahead, Billy Porter getting it.
Graphic. Let me see. I can't remember that character's name, but when they did it for the first time and they had the baby face playing in the background, Whip Appeal.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. I remember a sex scene that I like from Love and Basketball.
You know, I started talking about it now, y'all coming all out the woodwork.
I had to remember when you said Maxwell. Love and Basketball had a good one. They was real cute. It was their first time. Both of them were virgins, and it was their first time. But that was cute, and the song really set it off. See what they did there?
Oh my God. Anyway. Yes. So I have another question for you guys.
What's your question?
This is one of those rare movies where most of the main characters die. Mm-hmm. Whose death tore you up the most? Terrell.
Oh, well, it had to be in Cleo. That's like the main death. Matter of fact, that's the only person I remember dying until I watched it again. I was like, oh, the rest of them didn't get away.
Yeah.
I forgot because like that's the main one they focus in on. It's the longest scene is of the death. It's like, and then like she wasn't like, I'm going out. Yeah, I'm just gonna go out. She was like, no, I'm going out. I'm taking folks with me. I'm gonna keep shooting, even then I can't run people over no more. I'm gonna get out the car after all that shot it up, and I'm gonna keep shooting. I was like, I was crazy. I was like, whew.
I would have to agree. Cleo's death was so. She wasn't. To me, she wasn't even doing it like she knew she was. It wasn't even like her death scene. It was her telling her to get away. Like she was just like knew she knew she was gonna die. Period.
Yeah, she sacrificed herself for her friends, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah. I thought, and that's what made that scene like that's what made her death like really, really like monumental in my eyes, because she literally was just like, you know what, I know what's gonna happen, and I love y'all so much that I am going to sacrifice myself in the hopes that y'all get away. And like, I don't know if that's a decision I'd have made. Honestly,
that would have not been my decision.
Cleo was one of those characters like in the beginning, like I guess just paid attention to like, you know, the things that each character was saying. And Cleo was the one that she like believed in her friend. She was like, remember she was telling Stoney, like, you can go and start over in suburbia. I'm supposed to be here. This is my life. I mean, I don't see much for myself. So it fell in line. I thought that was like beautiful screenwriting, how that really like fell in line with Cleo's character. Mm-hmm. And how much she really loved them. I mean, because just a few scenes earlier, she had a gun in Stoney's face, but it was still like all out of love. And
I don't know if that was out of love, baby. She was a little upset that time. She said she had wanted money.
Well, I mean, I'm saying like how they like made up and how it was like.
But she slapped the shit out of her. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, but they were still friends afterwards. Like they still, you know, still kept that sisterhood, even though like
it turned into juice real quick. I was like,
real quick. I don't even know what it sounded like. It would have set it up. I do not believe in putting my hands on my friends like that, so I would never do that. And I wouldn't even expect them to still want to be friends with me after if I got physical with them. I could understand them like loving me beyond that, but I just feel like you cross a huge ass boundary when you hit folks.
Huh? What you mean on
like friends?
Oh, I thought okay. I thought you meant in that particular scene. Okay, but there was a reason.
She deserved to get her now.
Oh, okay. I was
like, in that situation, I could see us. You know, maybe we make it over. But I'm just talking about like in general. Like if I had gotten upset with my friend for something crazy and I put my hands on her, I would never expect her to be my friend no more, and I would never expect that out of her. But you put a gun in my face.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we gonna shoot the ones and twos when you put that gun down, because now it's up. Because what in the right world possessed you to put a gun in my face? And we can be friends afterwards, but don't try that shit again. I can tell you that now.
Okay. Because at first I was like, you was like, well, putting your hands on people. I was like, but she had the gun. But you were talking about in life in general, putting your hands on your friends.
There's no reason to put your hands on your friend outside of them having a gun to your face. Outside of that.
Okay. Well, the death that tore me up the most, I guess like upon like my older viewings, I would have said Cleo. And it still does, like, because Cleo's death was probably like a strong focal point in the movie. But this time it was Frankie's. Like, because I just keep going back to how like Frankie was doing everything that she was supposed to. And here we go. Here we have this in the beginning, the opening scene, this professional woman in a suit and heels to this woman running with a bag of money and shot by the police. Like, it was just like this night and day change with that character, and all because of how she was treated. Like, just and it's not even so much that like what happened to her was like this super unique experience. I feel like all Black women have gone through something like this. We might not rob a bank, but we've all been like treated in a way or had something like some microaggression happen to us that fills us with rage. And I don't know, I just really connected with Frankie a lot on this viewing. Like, I don't know. But
she did everything right. It got hold at the end of it all. At the end of the day, she was doing. I watched a TikTok the other day, and someone was like, "Y'all be mad at the hood girls who are getting everything that was promised to the good girls." And if you think about it, and she was the good girl getting the things that she she'd worked so hard for, but it goes to show you are at the end of the day still a Black and still a woman, and they don't give a fuck about you. Period.
Yeah. It's sad, but it is unfortunately true.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Terrell, you want to talk a little bit about the soundtrack? Because I know out of all these films, that is what connects with you the most.
Yeah.
And I remember the soundtrack being exceptional.
It was like throughout the movie, just even if it wasn't on the soundtrack, just the music that was played throughout the movie, it was stellar. And the soundtrack is top tier.
Yeah.
It's in the top 10 of like soundtracks of all time. Because like it was a variety. It wasn't just like, even though they were on the West Coast, it wasn't just West Coast artists. They had Bone Thugs, they had R&B. It was a great mixture. They had like some, like, it wasn't like neo soul, but it was like that. It's not R&B, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? That music is kind of like in between.
Yeah, it's kind of like what like R&B was like moving into and getting like that new age R&B, like coming out of the depths of like Luther and Anita. Like these new artists were coming in, and a lot of those songs from that soundtrack they went on to do like really well.
Yeah.
Even like separated from the soundtrack, like because that Missing You song did really well. The one with Brandy and Tamia and and that Vogue song during the sex scene, that Don't Let Go, that did exceptionally well. So yeah, the soundtrack, it is back when soundtracks were like almost as important as the movie, and some went on to be even more important than the movie.
Exactly.
So yeah,
that Roger and Hammerstein Cinderella soundtrack is iconic.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. If y'all never seen the Black Cinderella, like if you actually go listen to the sound, okay. I'm so sorry.
Man.
I'm just saying, like some of those soundtracks do really end up being more important. Like the movies, it maybe not more important than the movie, the Cinderella, but that soundtrack is so good.
You're not wrong, but you wrong.
I didn't know she was gonna say Cinderella. I was just like,
because that's her go-to. When we talk about soundtracks, that is her go-to.
Is that the only soundtrack you listen to?
We talk about the Encanto soundtrack is a stellar. The Hamilton soundtrack is really, really good. The Greatest Snowman soundtrack is
the greatest Snorman. Yeah, the Greatest Snorman. That's right.
Kayla, my baby.
Kayla. I'm the soundtrack queen in this biatch.
Kayla, no, that's inaccurate. Kayla, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt because you come from a generation that came after, like, the soundtrack generation. And so therefore, the soundtracks you know are the ones that you grew with. But there was an era before you were born, or when you were a little baby, that soundtracks, especially the soundtracks to Black movies, man, it's like not even just Black movies, but specifically Black movies, they just ruled. And
bro. You on mute.
But I know you might not understand that, and that's okay.
First of all,
Lord, oh Lord.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I understand that because as I was saying all of this, I also realized that I was saying soundtracks to musicals, and y'all are talking about soundtracks to movies, and there's a difference.
Oh, that's what pulled you back into reality? All right. Anyway,
you know, I understand that those were excellent movies, but you're right. I don't know I couldn't tell you any soundtrack to a movie that wasn't a musical, honestly, truly.
That is unfortunate because there's some really good soundtracks.
It's okay. You're still learning. You're still learning and growing with us. But the soundtrack to this movie, the soundtrack to How to Be a Player, the soundtrack to Soul Food,
soundtrack Waiting to Exhale,
soundtrack to Two Can Play That Game, soundtrack to Baby Boy, Boomerang, like all of those movies had great soundtracks to where people would go out and buy the soundtrack just as quick as they would go out and buy like this person's CD or whatever. Exactly. Like people don't buy soundtracks like that anymore.
Nope, because they don't make them like that anymore. Like I can't even think of a soundtrack that's out of a movie I just watched. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy
soundtrack.
Who?
The Barbie movie. I remember they did that. They put a soundtrack out. I'm just saying that they put a soundtrack out.
It's like I can't say this enough. It's like every episode you just get further and further from God's love and God's plan for your life. Why are you this way?
Okay.
I don't know how to fix her. Wait, I love her. I do. That's my baby sister. But
I'm just saying, you couldn't think of a soundtrack from a recent movie, and I provided.
She's broken in a way that I can't fix, and I don't know what to do. Anyway, my last question for you kids is, what would the plot of Set It Off 2 look like? Kayla.
There should never be a Set It Off 2.
If you have
let's start there. But if we just had to have a plot, I don't know, maybe in some fictional world, Stoney got TT's son at some point, and maybe like she gets gunned down and then he set it off. I don't know. Child, I guess like that's.
Oh, I got a good one.
I don't know.
Okay, so if they were gonna do a Set It Off 2, you would pick up with Stoney. Okay, pick up with Stoney, and the guys let her leave, but then they was like, "We gonna find her." So she's in Mexico. Blair Underwood comes out there, and then they go on the run because she's like, I came to see you before the police come, and they run away, and they're going from country to country. And in order for them to survive, they have to rob banks, and they have to set it off all across South America. There we go. I would watch that.
Set It Off International. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cute.
Okay.
But we would have to recast Stoney.
Why? The thing is, we wouldn't. She don't look no different than she do now.
I don't even like Jada, but Jada has aged like beautifully. She looked the same. So
recast.
My Set It Off 2 plot would be well, now I got to give two because Terrell, you kind of took mine. It wasn't quite like yours, but I felt like Stoney, after living 20 years or whatever in Mexico, she, finally returns to the States and connects with Blair Underwood's character, Keith, I think was his name, Keith. And he, as a black man would, he was climbing the ranks in this banking thing, but something happened that pissed him off and he loses his job. So they both get together and rob banks. I wouldn't say internationally, but they just go across the country and it's like this revamped, like Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing.
All I need in my life is me and my girlfriend.
Yeah, that. or TT's son grows up and learns the truth about his mother because his grandmother or whatever tries to hide it from him, but he grows up and he learns, and then he avenges his mother's death.
Because all them cops gonna be retired by the time he exacting his revenge on.
First of all, old white men do not retire.
I hope that old white man is
Mitch McConnell. They do not retire.
Stoney's son grow up because that white man was crazy. Yeah. Who the fuck are you talking to? The first
he was working way too hard.
Who the hell are you talking to?
Let's let our last conversation be about just the police role in this film, which
shitty, trashy, terrible, awful.
It was terrible.
It was so you don't even follow directions, nigga. He said don't shoot.
He said,
like, what the fuck?
You could have shot him. He's so trigger happy. Oh,
I don't understand. To me personally, Cleo could have did the right thing and just shot that nigga. Period. Point blank. Just shoot. Because everybody else would have got away because they was all focused on you.
I think what pissed me off the most, the main detective or whatever, he was so obnoxious. And to me, but like the black detective,
Eleanor all caught up in it.
Eleanor was really sickening, and it was just like probably the only thing that I would change about this movie was that I would have wished that, because first of all, it made absolutely no sense for him to let Stoney leave on that bus.
Exactly.
Ain't no cop in their right mind would have done that.
No.
Even if he knew that what she went through was messed up, he still would have stopped that bus, dragged her ass off of there and be like, let's make it right. You don't have to be a victim. We'll get you some help. And then throw her black ass in prison. And then because that's how that goes.
Help you into this jail cell.
I don't be falling for that. And I'm like, no, they are not gonna help you.
Never.
You're gonna get
I don't understand how people fall for that.
I don't get it either. Like there's no scenario where it's gonna turn out good for you. Like with that whole Frankie, like it doesn't have to be this way. You can save yourself. No, you're gonna go to prison for a long, long, long time.
Yeah, you just don't have to die. Like that's literally what he was trying to say. You just don't have to die so that we can put you in prison to just stay there for the rest of your life. Instead, fuck no, I'd rather die. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely not. Like, but I just felt like it would have made me like really stand up and cheer if Eleanor's character, which I know that's not her name, but did they ever even give her a name? But anyway, if she would have saw her on the bus and been like, gave a little black girl nod, like,
all right,
yeah,
because
she was like so, and I hated that they put her in this like subservient role to him anyway, like, and she was the only one that was actually doing any real police work. She was the one that froze the tape, that saw the haircut on the back.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's decent police work. More decent than they friends, so they obviously in cahoots. Like that was
right.
That was still crazy. I'm not going. He was right.
Like, how did he even know they were friends? Two, like, because he knew before the teenager got killed. Like, it was just crazy. He was like, I just want to put a tail on them. I want to pull in his sister. Like, he was making some leaps, like some far-fetched reaches, and he happened to be right. And it was like, wow, most police officers who make those little shitty decisions are very wrong. But in this movie, you made him right. Like, he was making some real reaches.
Oh yeah,
he was the only one that was like, stop the tape. I recognize that that's a haircut. We can use that to identify at least somebody for questioning. Now they
went in there bang blazing. Like, what the fuck?
Huh?
They definitely went in there guns ablaze for. Well, I guess they did arm rob the bank. I do understand that. I guess.
I mean, it was just, yeah.
But
it was something else that she did, like, you know, she was picking up evidence, dusting for prints, and it was like all he was doing was marching around the crime scene saying they friends.
That's all he said.
That's it. And I'm like, but I guess that whole scenario or situation speaks to me because there's plenty of situations where like the person in charge is an absolute
dick
fuck brain, and the person underneath them is doing all of the work.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's how most, if not everything, works though. The higher you get up, the less you actually do.
Mm-hmm.
Until it's time to make a decision, then you gotta kind of get your feet wet.
Yeah.
Make it do what it
so, but yeah. So let's. Anybody have any final thoughts?
No, it's a real good movie. Real good movie. One of the actual good hood classics that you've all ever picked. Good job.
Oh, my goodness, God.
Because a lot of them do not be that good, but this was a good one.
I don't even have the words for you.
I'm so proud of you all for picking such a great movie.
Thank you. We aim to please you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Well then, so it's happy hour. Actually, you know what? Let's do best, worst, weirdest. Kayla, best, worst, weirdest.
I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do best, worst, weirdest, and happy hour at the same time.
No, we're gonna open up happy hour after we're done, girl.
Best was that Sony made it away. I feel like they did all of that. Somebody needed to live. Worst was that this even started in the first place because they should not have treated that woman that way just because she knew who robbed the bank. That was fucking crazy. Weirdest, I think, would be that they even got away with doing a second or third bank robbery because you could take one fucking look at that camera and be like, that's that big bitch, that's that little bitch, that's that little bitch. And like we would have already had all of y'all. Like they did not have enough disguise on for me to be like, oh, that's not them. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Kayla is available for all of your investigative needs. That's that big bitch.
Like, if you looked at, please go back and look at the CV camera that they had.
Yeah, you know who it is.
I would have easily been like, even if I had even a hint that it was them, I'd have looked at the CV camera, looked at some pictures of them, and been like, those are my people. They looked
that big bitch. Really?
Yeah, that's that big bitch. That's that little bitch, and that's that little bitch. I don't know what the other bitch is, but there you have it.
Yeah, the only one that wouldn't have been able to be identified would
be TT. She'd have got away with
it. TT in them shoes. I would have been like, TT, you cannot wear them shoes to this robbery because you're the only person on the planet that got them shoes. Okay.
The shoes is that big.
Picture of TT and her shoes.
I gotta see these shoes
now.
now.
They would not have gotten. They would not have had a chance for a second robbery playing with me.
Gee whiz. Okay, Terrell, you want to get?
Let's see. Best part of the film, I enjoyed the cast. I think the acting was underrated. I think they all did a stellar job. I think the plot was very well written. I know you want to talk about the screenwriter. We can get around to it, but
yeah.
Let me see. And the worst part of the film was that they let Stoney get away.
I cannot believe y'all are saying this right now. Y'all just want to see a black woman down. She did all of that. She did all of that, and you wanted her to go to jail. Somebody deserves it.
You do? Okay. I need you to separate Jada from Stoney, okay?
He deserves to live. I don't know what you're talking about, Terrell.
I don't want Jada to be gunned down in the street, I think. I'm not
I don't. I like Jada, and I really liked her in this. She was really good.
You're lying, but okay.
I did, for real. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought I was going to hate it. I think the reason I didn't watch this movie as many times because I was like, I don't care about Jada Pinkett. But after, I guess I was wrong. She did a very good job. Worst part of the film. What did I say? Did I say that?
I don't even know. Best, worst, weirdest. So.
Worst part of the film was he was way too old to be going to college. No, okay, that's my weirdest part. Buddy, he was way too old to be like, I'm just graduating high school, bro. You're 35.
I'm not gonna hold you. He did look like he was good up in them ages, but he tried. He was trying to play.
He had a mortgage and a family.
I was like, wow, y'all didn't even try to cast that baby.
Like, what school did he graduate from? ITT college? Like, where did they find this dude at?
Going to the rock.
But no, I like him as an actor though. He's good. I like him. He was in the 10
I like him too. You are dumb.
He's good.
Okay.
But yeah, he was way too old to be playing. Or maybe he just got that face. You know that face to just be old. He's like old for a long time because he always looks the same. He always looks the same, even now.
Yeah, he's one who's aged well because he just looked the same.
Like, he looks exactly the same. It's like it's weird.
Yeah, Queen Latifah looked the same. Vivica Fox looked the same, and Kimberly Elise.
No,
Vivica don't look the same.
No.
Vivica Fox is in the work today.
Oh, and
everybody looks the same. But
Vivica back. I'm gonna take Vivica back, but the rest of them, she got some cheeks on her.
But
yeah.
Well, Terrell, you gave your best word raters?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If I did, oh well.
I would say the best part of this film is just, to me, like just this portrayal of Black female friendship, but also Black female rage, and it was just really great keeping those themes throughout the course of the movie. The worst was I really wish they didn't have to die in the end. Gosh, that was just so tragic.
It was. It really was
tragic. And I think probably the weirdest for me would be like this cop letting them go, letting Stoney go. Like,
where was Stoney going?
Mexico.
Yeah, she got on that. But and why? Why she stayed in Mexico? Because I don't know. He really must not have said anything. He just let her go. Like, we lost her, and I was like, that's just so far fetched. I just don't believe that. Even the best cop, like the nicest cop, would have been like, get your ass
on that bus to Mexico. I'm gonna let you go now, but I know we coming for you because Mexico is not an extradition. I mean, is an extradition state. I mean, country. So it's not like they couldn't have gone and got her at any point of time.
Hell yeah, they could have got her. But every cop is worried about their like arrest record and like, you know, and if especially detectives, that if they can close cases, and you just let this person go, like this was like a major bank heist, like a three bank robberies, and you just let her go. That doesn't even make any sense.
No. And she wasn't ducked down enough for me. I would have been ducked. That when he would have looked up, seen, and then she would have looked up again. It wouldn't have seen nothing. No,
I wouldn't have had to watch nothing. I understand that was her friend, but they wouldn't have seen nothing of my damn sombrero.
Just like, hey, y'all get down, they shooting out there. That's what I was saying. Y'all get down, they shooting out there.
Ain't no way. So,
how good of a life is she living in Mexico anyhow?
Wasn't you about to pile up your?
No. Okay, I'm so sorry. Let me walk this back because that's not what I meant. I meant having seen all of your friends die.
Oh,
like watching them die and knowing that you literally could never go back unless you wanted to go to jail. Hell, no.
Statute of limitations on
because Jayla is still team. I will pack all this shit up and go to Mexico tomorrow if I can.
Probably no. The statute of limitations wouldn't have run out because it was like murderers involved in that.
But she ain't murdered nobody.
Yeah, but you go to jail.
She was part of it.
You go to jail when
who they murdered?
They murdered
all of them. You get every charge. Damn. So she was gonna get charged with all 3 of their murders, and whoever else got involved hurt in the meantime. Like you get all of that. Crazy.
Yeah, the security guard got killed in that last and the one who shot TT. She did. No, Cleo shot that security guard, but I feel like Jada's she would have gotten in trouble because she was a part of the crime. Yeah, it was like, she would have took all them raps, but ain't no way.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, and y'all would have just seen my sombrero. I'll be all right. Let's get this bus going. Let's go.
I know, right? Y'all, they shooting over there. Bus driver, pick up the pace.
That's what I'm crazy. But anyway, now it's happy hour. Terrell, who you have a cocktail with? Shut up, Taylor.
I'm having a cocktail with Black Sam.
Okay. I think about it. Okay, yeah.
Dr. Dre's character, Black Sam.
Who was Dr. Dre? Never mind. I know who Dr. Dre is. I meant who was Dr. Dre in the movie. That's what I meant.
The one who gave him the guns.
I understand. Yeah. I had to go back and look. I know who Dr. Dre is. Don't crucify me.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, but I would help him with his gun range though, because he ain't had no air protection. They just in there shooting. They shooting in the mattresses. It was real janky out there. I know it was an illegal operation, but you got to make it look professional, Dr. Dre. That's all.
Wow.
Need some air protection. They out there firing shotguns and everything.
Me personally, I'm having a cocktail with Ursula because now that her woman is gone, okay, girl.
Ursula was pretty fine. Like I didn't realize how pretty she was. I never paid attention to her because like she didn't say nothing.
Say anything.
Like, yeah, no, she literally just looked the entire movie, and that was funny. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's gonna be her.
Okay. I would have a cocktail with Frankie and just let her just talk about all her Black female rage. And I'm, girl, I know it, girl. Girl, that's right. Girl, that's right.
She had your ass out there robbing a bank next.
Right.
But no, I can't rob no bank with you, Frankie, now. But
I'll listen to you, baby. I understand your plight.
So, but yeah, let's see. But you know what I was going to say about Kate Lanier, I'll throw that in there. It's actually not there, but she has these complete racial adulteral vibes, and so like a lot of people when they like critique this movie, they talk about how it is a movie about Black women, but it is written by a Black man and a white woman. And so there is an interview out there with Kate Lanier. Because she has written, I know she did Glitter, she did the TLC movie. Like she's done like quite a few movies about Black women, and like there's an interview where they're like, what makes you an expert? And she's like, well, I'm Jewish.
What?
No, the fuck she did. No,
and then she's like, you know, and then, so they talk about in this interview like the absence of like Black female screenwriters and stuff, and she's like, well, you know, Hollywood is like very ageist, and like so she like diverts the conversation to her age, and it's like, okay,
wow.
But yeah,
what's love got to do with it? Interesting.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
Wow. Set it off.
Like a lot of like Black stories.
Beauty shop. Mm-hmm. Crazy. The TLC story, man.
She said, "I'm Jewish.
Mm-hmm. So, and she like literally says out of her face, like, you know, I hang out with a lot of Black women, and so that gives me, you know, the vantage point that I have to be able to write these stories about Black women. So yeah, there you go. There's your.
If you need a publicist, Kate Lanier, I got you, because there's a better way to answer these questions, because that for sure was not. Better way to answer.
The better way is to give your
Black women are not giving the opportunity for visibility. So when I create these movies, I bring in the women, and I'm just, you know, the name on the paper, but it's really the stories that they, like anything other than I'm.
Look at you spinning that.
I'm about to say, yeah, you spit that.
13. Like, no, publicist. That's what I do. That's what I do, because that was crazy as shit, and you should never write another fucking movie again if that's the reason why you do
it. Well,
that's just me.
All right. Well, Terrell, yes. You're up.
Up in here? Yeah. up in the stuff? Well, I don't understand. What are we doing?
What are we up for? He already said his.
No, Terrell has his segment.
Oh, yeah. One gotta go.
What are you talking about? Oh, okay.
You're right. One gotta go. Here we go. I made this one. This one is about heist. So this is all heist movies. I have the 2 female-led ones and 2 male-led ones.
I can tell you what it's not gonna be.
Okay. Which one?
Inside Man, Set It Off. Them other 2 I ain't never seen before.
Wow. Dead Presidents and Widows with what is her name?
I might have seen Widows.
It came out in 2018. It was good.
Yeah, it's fairly recent, but I remember wanting to watch it, and then I couldn't find it, and then I was like, oh well. But it is a movie that I want to see. As a matter of fact, I might search for that and watch it.
Yeah, Widows was good. It was good.
The only 2 I've only seen Set It Off and Dead Presidents, and I don't remember Dead Presidents at all.
Oh wow, you ain't seen Inside Man?
I've never seen Inside Man.
Inside Man is really good. Inside Man.
Put in. That's Denzel, ain't it? And what? Yeah, I don't
feel like directed by Spike Lee.
Denzel on movie at this point. They be the same movie, but they be good.
Well, Terrell, you're the only one that's seen all of them. So which one do you choose? I guess.
I guess Widows would have to go. Out of all of them.
Because you are against women.
Really, but I left Set It Off.
She just be talking to Red.
Yes, she do.
Yeah, she do.
But yeah, Widows would probably have to go. Inside Man is a really good movie. Dead Presidents is a classic, and Set It Off is also a classic. So
yeah. Yeah, so I guess I'm not really qualified to choose this time.
Are you ever?
Really? That was a Kayla's. I'm sometimes qualified. So
why can't I just be out here catching strays when I'm actually like?
Because you always be open and you don't never put on your vest. It's on you.
Dang.
Kayla, what you binging this week, my boo?
What am I binging this week? Jujutsu Kaisen, because the 2nd season is out. And maybe I'll watch One Piece, but I never watched the original One Piece to be watching the live action version of One Piece. But I might watch it anyways.
Okay. Terrell, what you binging?
I'm watching a show on Apple TV about basketball. I forgot the name of it, but it's on its 2nd season. I didn't know it had a 1st season, but I didn't have Apple TV either until recently. But whatever. But it's a really good show. Black show about a kid, high school, trying to make it to the league, make it to college first from high school. He's like this touted middle schooler who's really good at basketball. And his adversity is growing up in the hood with a single mom.
Okay. Me, I finished Supernatural.
What? No, we never see the day.
I'll start it back because I already miss my cousins Sam and Dean, so I'll start it back. But I've restarted Lucifer because I always wanted to watch that again. But one thing I did like binge was Painkiller on Netflix, the show about the opioid crisis. Cool. And if you are the type of person that gets angry about like conspiracy theories and like just the seedy underbelly of like different or agencies and organizations, like Big Pharma is the agency that this movie is really about. This is the series for you. It's a quick watch, like they're hour-long episodes, but it was only 6 episodes. So I watched it in like a night, and it was some stuff that I knew, but some stuff that I absolutely did not know, and it was like a rage-inducing. The way that opioids like Oxycontin introduced into America, but yeah, so it was pretty good. And the girl that plays Crazy Eyes on Orange Is the New Black, Uzo, I can't remember her name. But yeah, but it was pretty good. And so yeah, that's what I binged, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, I think that's it.
The name of that show is called Swagger.
Swagger. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Well, any final thoughts?
No.
What are we doing next? Whose episode is it next?
So we don't know.
It'll get as good as mine.
Right.
Terrell, you're next.
Oh
no.
Nope.
It was supposed to be Barbershop, I think.
Kayla's next with Bodies. Or we can do Barbershop though. Either way, we'll let you guys know what we're doing next.
It'll start with a B.
Yeah, it'll be one of them.
So yeah. All right. Well, Kayla, take us on out.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in today. We hope you had a great time discussing Set It Off, and we hope you enjoyed listening to our thoughts and insights. If you want to know more about Sips and Scripts, head over to our website, sipsandscripts.com, or follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Sips and Scripts Podcast. We would love to hear from you, whether it's to suggest a film for us or share your thoughts on today's episode, or just say hey. Drop us a DM on social media. Until next time, cheerio.
Cheerio.
Cheers.
And share the people. Share with your friends.
Frankie want to blow up the bank. Frankie want to rob the bank.